What seems to be the problem with the parking on Kilgore Avenue?
Well, our big problem, of course, is that we have a very narrow alley, and our children are in jeopardy. And as they travel back and forth to school, the alley is so narrow, in fact, that cars parking on both sides of the alley oftentimes keep us who live in the middle of the street from getting out at all.
Are you satisfied with what action was taken at the Board of Works this morning?
Not particularly, except that they would not give us any definite action at all, only except that they would consider it further, and whatever they said would be final. And I asked them the question, of course, if we could go further, and they said we could, but apparently they didn't think we'd get very far. However, this is serious. This is something that's very serious.
I'd like to ask you, sir, there was some talk about you thought perhaps the Meadows Shopping Center or Zayres was responsible for this. What is your opinion?
Well, that's kind of obvious in a way that this suddenly took place after Zayres has been open less than a month, and they had been parking down there for 14 years that I know of since we've lived there.
Did they offer to let any of you park down there?
You mean Meadows? No, none of us that I know of in particular, but we have heard stories that they have made offers to people down there.
Why? What is the reason behind the parking being lifted on Kilgore then?
Well, as they said at the board meeting this morning, it's my understanding that the state asked the city to request the state to ban the parking, but when we contacted the Highway Commission, they told us that they don't care one way or the other if people park there, that if we could present a petition to the board would act on it and wanted to have the parking restrictions taken off if they would come to the state to